Can England win the World Cup this year? No, they actually have a winnable bracket, but I don't think they have a shot. You know why? Because England isn't special in any way. England isn't. They don't have. They have the culture of soccer. They love it, but they don't play it. And what I mean by that, I went to Birmingham, England, with my family, and I was so excited about being in England, and I wanted to go and go play some soccer. And there's no lights in Birmingham at night. Nothing. I went in November of 2009 or 10, and it happened to be the coldest winter that England's had for like 50 years. It was insane. And there's no soccer anywhere. The only soccer I could get was with two Mormon missionaries that were there. We played in the morning for, their exercises, and it was chair soccer. And one was, a basketball player, and one was a rugby player. But anyways, you can't play. There's no pickup games. Well, they're hidden. There's no parks. They all dress in suits to go to school. So they're probably not playing at all. You don't want to get those suits dirty. And the only soccer I could find was in a five-a-side league. And it was at a mall, and it's 5v5. And then I saw a bunch of courts. No one's playing on them, but I saw a bunch of them. So anyway, so I asked the person running the place, how do I get on a team? And they're like, no, you gotta have a pass and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, I'll pay what I need to pay. I just want to play. No, we can't do that. You'll goof up the league or whatever. I don't know. Maybe because I was American, he thought I couldn't play or whatever. But he wouldn't let me in. I said, I'll pay $100 to play one game. I mean, how do I get me on a team? I just want to play one game while I'm in England. Oh, no, can't do that. So anyways, I couldn't get a game in England except with a basketball player and a rugby player with Mormon missionaries. I mean, that was my extent of soccer in England. But I've been to Mexico. I played there, and I was only in Mexico for like 3 hours, and I got a pickup game with a bunch of kids with a ball that was just jacked up. And at first they said no, they wouldn't let me play, and then I kept asking, and eventually they let me play, and I got to play. And those kids are pretty darn good, and it was a fun experience. You can play in Mexico, you can play in Spain, you can play in Germany, you can play in Italy, you can play on the streets over there, you can play on the streets in the U.S. except into the U.S. soccer organized, structured clubs. I mean, but you can, if you want to play, you can go in Arizona or where I live, you can go Oso Park. You can go so many places to play, which is pretty cool, but not in England. So will England win the World Cup? No. You know why? They don't play soccer. They have the greatest league in the world that's not played by the English. It's played by everybody else. But the one thing England is doing that makes sense is their national youth teams, they're playing with refugees. They're all African. I think one of the national teams just won the World Cup, U17s, I think. And they're all African. England figured it out. Their people don't play, so they got the Africans that play from a different culture. In Africa, they play. I haven't been to Africa, but I bet they play. That's where the players are. That's what we need to do. We need to go to the Latino communities and grab all of them that can play and build teams off them. But we will not do that because we like not being in the World Cup. At least England's in the World Cup. So will England win? No, not until their whole team becomes refugees and less English. It won't be the case. Good day.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.